Hello, this is Idea Coach's Coach Rome. We're on the weight classes for UFC Fight Night, Glover Teixeira versus Ryan Bader. First off, I'd like to apologize for not having a predictions video for UFC 164. I would have picked Ben Henderson and Josh Barnett. Josh Barnett is just a guy who can dictate the pace, something Frank Mir couldn't do, and that was very evident in their fight. Ben Henderson, even though I like Anthony Pettis more, and I think he's actually a better fighter in a lot of different ways, that knee injury was actually making me pick Bendo for that fight. But Anthony Pettis won nonetheless. While you guys are all watching other people's responses to Miley Cyrus twerking in 2013's VMAs, you may have missed the card of the year. UFC 164 was fucking fantastic. I can't think of one card this year that was better. But let's get into the picks for this UFC Fight Night. And there's been a lot of these lately, all the saturation of UFC going on. In the co-main event, there is Yushin Okami versus Jacare Souza. Jacare Souza is a fighter that sometimes will just be like blah, moping around sometimes in his fights when he's not focused. The Luke Reinhold fight really comes to mind. And also the Tim Kennedy fight. I do feel that he defeated Tim Kennedy, but I remember everyone was so outstanding, just upset that Jacare won that fight. I don't know what fight they were looking at, but to me, Jacare should have finished Tim Kennedy. Going against Yushin Okami is a fighter like Nick Diaz where he has a very good cardio tank with him, but he can't change the pace. And I just think if Jacare just pressures him the first round and a half, somewhere to the end of the second, beginning of the third, he may be able to pull off a submission win. Off to the main event, Glover Teixeira versus Ryan Bader. Glover is actually walking in this fight with a 19-fight winning streak, which is amazing. I can't remember that in the UFC since Diego Sanchez back in, 2005? 2004, perhaps? The thing is, Glover is, I'm scared for this guy for the sense that there's so much hype about him. He has such a big fight winning streak, and if he loses one, so much of that is derailed. Ryan Bader, he beats people he needs to beat, and he loses to people he needs to lose to. Yes, they both fought Quentin Rampage Jackson, but that version that they both fought was a shell of his former self. It was that whole step, jab, throw the right hook, Rampage Jackson, not the Rampage that was, back in 2008, 2009. Ryan Bader still has not improved his hand game, and I think that's going to really be his undoing. I wish that he was spending more time training with his hands, leading with combinations with his kicks, but he just looks so awkward when he's throwing any sort of combination where he has to go, we have to change levels with the striking, not actually going for a takedown. Glover Teixeira should be able to win this fight and perhaps knock him out. I'm not going to just say what round, but I do predict him to finish this bout. So once again, my picks are Jacare Souza and Glover Teixeira. Share, subscribe, comment, and take care.